So this practice is called single pointed focus. And this is a really incredible technique, a meditation technique for practicing paying attention so we can do better on tests, we can do better in school, we can do better at sports, at music, and just in common conversations of paying attention to something that we might love or paying attention to something that we might not love. So I used the example with Lila of ice cream. Lila loves ice cream. She loves eating ice cream. So if I give her something she loves, it's easier to pay attention to because she has interest. But right now we're all doing virtual learning from home, and a lot of our children, including Lila, love learning, but it's a challenge to pay attention to something that they're being forced to pay attention to. So if we practice these little techniques of paying attention during times of neutrality, that means when they're not being forced to pay attention to something else, and we empower them to choose the object of their attention, things will shift and they'll actually have a bigger bandwidth of paying attention. And if we instill this when they're younger, when they get to be adults, this will be something really powerful that they can call attention to. When we know, moms, that you're listening, you have to pay attention to things that you don't necessarily want to a lot of the day. So this is helpful for us too. Lila, what did you choose as your object of attention?
I chose this worm, this purple wiggly worm.
Lila liked the color, she liked the texture, so right now you would ask your child, and you would as well, choose an object to place your attention on. And you're going to pick that object. I'm picking my finger, by the way. Right here I'm going to pick the top of my finger because I have to practice this all of the time when I don't have the ability to choose something cool, right? So I just choose my hand or maybe a ring. And Lila's going to place it down in front of her, and I'm placing my hands just gently in my lap. So the first step is to choose an object that you would like to pay attention to and allow your child to choose. Allow them to choose anything they like. Have them place it in front of them. They're not going to hold it unless your child is someone that really thrives with tactile sensory. So they need that thing. Lila actually chose this because she really likes the texture and the feel. Just know that then they will be moving it in their hand and allow space for that, right? So please don't tell them quiet hands. Let them have it. But for now, we're going to practice it out of their hand. Place it down in front of you. Take a few breaths. So bring eyes down towards your object and take a breath. I have to give you a little bit of a hint. The practice of this is not to keep your attention on the thing the entire time. That's almost impossible, right? The intention is to notice the mind wandering and then call it back. So please know that you're not failing if you notice that your mind has gone off of your object already. Please call it back. Call your attention back to your object, keeping your eyes gazed right on it. So Lila, bring your eyes to your object. I'm bringing my eyes to mine. And breathe in. Breathing in through your nose like you're smelling something. Keep your eyes on the object. Challenge yourself. And blow all the air out using your mouth. Keeping your eyes on your object. If you've already darted your eyes away, that's okay. Call it back. Call the attention back. You're in control and you're doing a good job. Breathing in. And breathing out. Keeping your eyes, keeping your gaze on the object that you chose. Breathing in. Noticing the texture, the colors, where it's placed. Breathing out. On the next exhale, you're going to gently close your eyes. So one more inhale. On the exhale, gently close your eyes and keep the object that you chose in your mind. So you're picturing it. Noticing any details that you had noticed just moments earlier. Picturing the color, where it was placed in space. And each time you notice your mind calling your attention away, maybe to make your body move or shift or maybe think about something else, that's okay. Gently call your attention back to the object, picturing the object that you have chosen just moments earlier. Breathing in and breathing out. 3 more breaths. Each time you notice the wandering mind, call it back. You're in control. You're doing a great job. One more. Breathing in, picturing the object that you have chosen. Breathing out. Open eyes and bring your gaze right to the object that you chose. Breathing in. Noticing how you feel on the inside. Noticing the mind telling the eyes to maybe look away or close, or thinking about the object that you chose. For right now, notice something about the object. Is it placed against something that's the same color? Is it moving? Is it still? Breathing in. Breathing out. 3 more breaths just like that. You can do it. Keeping your eyes on the object you chose. You're doing a great job noticing the wandering mind and then bringing it right back. You're in charge. And on the next exhale, give yourself a couple of blinks. Let your eyes go wherever they want to go. That is a meditation technique called single pointed focus. And I have to tell you, it doesn't just balance where you place your eyes, it actually balances your emotions too. Because when our strong emotions get really strong, the mind creates a story and it'll make your eyes just kind of dart all over. It'll make your eyes go a little bit more erratic. Erratic means a little crazy, right? So we'll look around and then the mind will tell the body to do things like move, react, shift. So if we practice things like single pointed focus on an item that you choose, and parents, please practice with your child. This isn't an activity that I tell Lila to do and then I leave and come back 10 minutes later and say, did you do it? That's not this type of a thing. We practice together, and if Lila isn't able to even look at it for more than 1 moment, that's okay. The point is to notice the wandering mind and call it back as many times as you can. So a few follow-up questions. Lila, was it easy or hard to focus on whatever that thing is, a fidget?
Yeah. It was kind of hard. It was definitely hard because I have this thing in front of me, and my eyes kept going to this because of how shiny and golden it is. Mm-hmm. And I kept looking at the chair too.
Was it easier or hard to call your attention back when the wandering mind called you away?
I think it was easy to look back at the object, but when we were closing our eyes and thinking about it, I was also thinking about that. But when I was closing my eyes, it's kind of harder to bring your attention back when your eyes are closed.
That's a beautiful point. When the eyes are closed, the wandering mind tends to get active. So this is a clue as to why some of us lay down to sleep at night and we can't fall asleep, because the images and the stories kick up a notch, and there's a reason why. It's because when the body isn't busy doing something, the mind is like, ooh, we've got some time to solve problems, let's have at it. So it starts to really fire out a lot of things, which is why when we have strong emotion, we tend to move and do a lot, because that busy hand, busy body thing distracts the wandering mind. But I have to tell you, there's wisdom in the wandering mind. There's wisdom there. So if we practice single-pointed attention, we notice the mind wandering and we call it back the way Lila just said. A shiny object was calling her attention. Sometimes a story is calling your attention. The story is the shiny object. Bring it back to the thing that you chose. That could be an affirmation like, I am strong. An affirmation is a positive phrase that we could tell ourselves. Or that could be an actual point that we're focusing on. So I chose my finger. So to sum up and wrap up what we did today, we did a meditation called Single Pointed Focus. I asked that when you want your child to practice, you take the time out to practice with them. It's most important that the adult actually models this behavior with our action, not with our word, right? One of our favorite quotes from Maya Angelou, one of our favorite poets. People don't remember what you said, they remember how you made them feel. So if I sit down and practice with Lila, or if I practice in front of her, she's going to be more willing to practice, because this is a unified partnership not an authoritarian figure telling a child yet another thing to do. That doesn't feel so good, right? That doesn't feel great if Lila tells me, sit down and meditate, and then she goes off and does whatever she wants, eats a bowl of ice cream. I want her to be with me, and we can figure this out together. Single pointed focus, choose an object, allow the child to choose their own, practice with them. Each time the mind wanders, you're not failing, you're actually succeeding. The point is to call the attention back, not to not wander at all, because there's wisdom in the wandering mind. That's actually the stuff that tells us what makes our decisions. That's for another workshop, not for today. But we notice the wandering mind, and then we call it back, bringing the eyes, the gaze right to the point that you chose. Do that for about 1 to 2 minutes. And then as you practice, make the time longer, right? So we just did that for about 3 to 4 minutes. With the other practice before the Facebook Live where we had no sound, that was another 5 or 6 minutes. So we did it for about 10. And if you do that every day, please during times of neutrality, not when emotions are amped up and strong and we're tantruming or we're super stressed about academics, that's not the time. Wait till that de-escalation occurs naturally and then practice something like single-pointed focus. Do you have anything to add with your infinite wisdom since you practice so much?
Not really.
Just tell them to practice.
Practice.
There you go. If she tells you, you'll listen. Thank you, everyone. You can see more from us, Lila, myself, and some of our other tribe members at theintegratedmind.com. And we do offer one-on-one coaching as well, especially at this time on theintegratedmind.com/teachable.com. So you can find us there. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for practicing.
Bye.